So I have a theory on fearlessness. It's not correct necessarily, it's mine though. And I've really and truly believe that no one is inherently fearless unless you have something biologically wrong with you. I think the difference between what we call a fearless person and a person who has fear is one is not fed up and the other is still wading in the water to some degree. What I've found over time, the cure for fearlessness is just all in. An amazing amount of all-inness, saying, fuck it, let's do it. I'm absolutely fed up with getting in my own way. There is a culture in the Western world of institutionalism where you tell someone to do this much and you put a limit on it. And the limit says, get this, you'll get this grade, get this, you'll get this grade, get this, you'll get this score. And it breeds a culture of enoughness. What do I need to do enough? Now, the problem with that is that I think it trickles down to people not ever being able to go all in. They just do what they're told, and they do enough of what they're told. The difference between a person who has fear and a person who is fearless is the person who has fear is trying to reach a terminal point. They are not working on their own volition to say, fuck this, I'm gonna give everything I got. Once you decide that I can give everything I have, it becomes amazingly clear. What becomes clear is that there's one thing I should be afraid of: dying. That is the biggest thing you have to deal with. That is the scariest thing. Once you have that perspective and you realize, is this going to make me die? I think you should have no fear of anything relatively. Some things are scary, sure, I agree. But I think for the most part, nothing is as scary as your death. And you start realizing, if I do this, what's gonna happen? Am I going to die? Am I going to succeed? Chances are you're not gonna die. What the fuck are you really afraid of then? If you're not gonna die. If the scariest thing that you have to deal with is the last thing that you have to deal with, death is like the ultimate procrastination. It's kind of funny in a fucked up way, because you don't deal with it until it's over. It's once you have to deal with it, it's already over. Everything you have to deal with in between is not that bad, relatively, compared to death. The acceptance that you're absolutely terrified is important, because that is the first step in being fed up, in saying, you know what? I know I'm absolutely terrified of doing this or trying this new goal or going all in for this thing. And I think the first step in that process is of absolute importance. Why? Because that is literally the fodder that is going to take you to the next level to say, fuck it, let me give this a shot. When was the last time you really, really tried something 100% in your life? And you just said, fuck it, I'm going to try this, everything I have in my soul 100%. 100% effort, and just gave your all to it. If not, I ask myself, why not? What are you waiting for? What are you saving this all-in effort for? Like, what are you afraid of? Like, what do you say? When is your finest hour? Like, why are you holding back? Like, when the fuck is this thing gonna happen? Were you gonna plan to do this later? What are you gonna do? You're gonna die, and then you're gonna try to give your best effort to survive when you're trying to fight death? Why not fight something proactively, like something you really want to do? The biggest key to becoming a fearless person is acceptance. This is fucking scary as shit, but I don't give a shit. I'm just tired of being scared. The truth is, you're in your own way, and the key is to get out of your own way. As of right now, the thing you are most loyal to is your own fear, because you haven't been on the side of your own goals yet. If you were truly on the side of your own goal, you would say, fuck fear, I'm not on your side. As of right now, you're loyal to fear, and you're afraid of it. And that's okay, If you really want to do something, you really want to break through, if you get fed up enough, you'll let yourself win and get out of your own way and stop shooting yourself in the foot. As Nietzsche would say, you must go under. So go. Just go under and go fucking relentlessly and give it 100%. You've heard this so many times, and I feel like an idiot even saying give 100% effort, but it's just the truth. Give as much as you absolutely can and do it now. Why save your finest work of your finest fight, of your finest effort for the last day on earth? Why not put it towards something proactive? Why not put it towards your family? Why not put it towards your business? Why not put it towards a sport? If you decide that you can go all in, as opposed to the standard that culture sets for you, you will set your bar to infinity. You're not setting your bar to get a grade or get a GPA. You set your bar to fuck it, I'm going all, there's no limit to what I can do. You become, in that moment of deciding, I'm fed up, you will do anything to make it. And once you decide that you can do that effort, and once you feel that you're doing that effort, you don't fear anything, because you just don't care, because you're too tired to think about being afraid. You're too busy to think about being afraid. You're just literally fed up with being afraid. Your lack of conviction in your goal is the only thing that can make you fail. I have to do this. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to get through it, or the worst thing that can happen to me, I have to die. And you have to die. As scary of a thought that most people don't want to think about. You have to die. Worst case scenario is going to happen at some point in your life. It's guaranteed that it will happen. Get convicted and pick and choose and decide what you want to do. If you're not convicted, then you'll have a slew of options. And how can you be all in when you have a million options? Pick something, just do it, and just go all in. You'll be amazed at what happens. I step, I stop. Now, the second step is important because you use the opposite foot, and what it does, it's going to find the actual angle that your feet are.